Chapter 4 Business Terminologies. Now, there are some common terminologies used, which we'll see. A long list can be seen here in this chapter. Try and read every word possible, memorize the meaning because these can be asked in exam as a direct question. So, these are marks that you can score easily because there are no twists and turns in such type of questions. Either you know the answer or you don't know the answer. Now, management, then business, then what is marketing. These are all some of the common terms that we come across even in our daily lives. Downsizing means reducing the number of employees when you want to save on cost. Outsourcing, when you can't do a particular function by yourself or an activity, you outsource it. You take up the work, but you don't do it yourself. You give it to somebody else and then charge the client for it. Then other terminologies like acceptance of bill. You all must be aware what bills of exchange are. So what is acceptance of bill? When one party accepts the liability, acknowledges it, that is acceptance of bill. Acknowledgement karna is to sign it, accept karna usko formally. Acquisition cost, act of God. Act of God means there are things which are not within the control of humans, that is act of God. एडजर्नमेंट कोर्ट के टर्म में ADB का फुल फॉर्म इज एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक. Adjournment, when a matter is being heard in court and you take a date, you take a next date because the matter cannot be argued on the present date, then it is called adjournment. Affidavit is nothing but a statement, a written statement on a document. It is made in the presence of a judicial officer, and very often these documents are notarized. Affirmation, declaring something to be true under the penalty of perjury by a person. So whenever you are filing something in, say, court, you file it and at the end you will see a clause, affirmation clause, that whatever stated above is true and to the best of my knowledge, and then you sign it. So ऐसे बहुत सारे terms है. There's amalgamation, two or more companies merging together, coming together. Amortization, जैसे एसेट्स के लिए डिप्रिसिएशन होता है, वैसे amortization होता है फॉर intangible assets. Depreciation is for tangible assets that can be seen, touched, felt. Amortization is for intangible assets like goodwill, reputation. Arbitration, out of court settlement जिसको बोलते हैं. Instead of taking the court route, you go for an arbitration, out of court settlement. Things move much faster and quicker over there. Assets, you know what it is. Assignment. ASSOCHAM is Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Again, it's a short form. Audit, bad debt. Then bail is important. What is bail? A person is accused of a crime and he is allowed to move out of the jail. That is known as bail. Balance sheet, accounting terms है. Bank account, bank rate, bankruptcy. When a person is called bankrupt, it's when his assets are lesser than his liabilities. He has more liabilities to pay than what his assets can recover. Capital expenditure. This is not recurring in nature. It's done only once. What are case and case laws? Case जो court में चल रहा है, lawsuit or action in a court. What are case laws? Case laws are judgments that we refer to, the past judgments, the orders that are passed by courts in the past. Cash flow statement, just like a balance sheet, this is also an accounting terminology. Cash flow statement, to assess how much cash is there in available. What is cause list? So many matters are listed every day in courts. How will you know which matter is listed at what number? So every courtroom has its own cause list. It's like a day's schedule, you can say. Caveat emptor, let the buyer be aware. That is caveat emptor. So these are some of the terminologies. Contempt of court. When court has told you to do something and you don't do it, or the court has told you not to do something and you do it, that is contempt of court. Not to obey the court and its rules, that is contempt of court. Credit note क्या होता है? You buy something from a shopkeeper, you return it because you didn't like the product. Now the shopkeeper refuses to give you the money. He says, I'll give you a credit note. So credit note की basis page is as good as cash, but that credit note can be used at the shopkeeper's store only. That is a credit note कि उसको बाद में आप यूज़ कर सकते हो. वो पैसे नहीं देता आपको उसके बदले में, बट एक credit note ज़रूर देता है. Cross examination क्या है? This generally happens in criminal matters when a person in the courtroom is questioned by the opposite party's lawyer. That is cross examination. So if I am representing A and the opposite party is Mr. B, when I ask questions to Mr. B, who is not my client, he is my client's rival, that is cross examination.